Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Florida State pulls the upset. Unranked Florida State takes down the number 8 team in the country. Yeah. Put pressure on Ty Simpson pretty much all day. He was pressured on 16 of 51 dropbacks, 1 of 10 for 30 yards with 3 sacks when pressured. Simpson was not on the same page as Ryan Williams, who left the game late with a concussion. Simpson was just 5 of 11 when targeting him, 0 of 3 on passes thrown more than 5 yards down the field. I was thinking to myself, Johnny and Ocho, I was like, man, look here. I understand there's not a college coach that's gonna be Coach Saban, but you can't. He's lost to 4 unranked teams in 14 games. Coach Saban was there damn near 2 decades, and he might have lost 4 unranked teams in his whole tenure. And I was like, man, they might get rid of Kalen DeBoer. But I looked at that buyout. He has a $70 million buyout. They ain't got them deep pockets like y'all got, Johnny, down at Texas A&M, where y'all got a Jimbo up out of there for $77 million. They ain't got pockets like that. So Ocho, let me ask you this: you watched Alabama.
Oh yeah,
Coach Saban's not walking through that door anytime soon. Okay, Coach Saban's not walking through that door ever.
Yeah.
When you look at Alabama, they don't even look the same. They don't have the same swagger. They don't even take the field the same.
Well, Unc, you got to understand, of course, they don't look the same. This is what we're seeing now. When Saban was there, this was pre-NIL, Unc. This was pre-NIL. Yeah. NIL came along, and even the scoreboard all the way across, so all the talent and the players that used to go to Alabama, where everybody would go and have to wait in line, they got receiver after receiver after receiver, quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, running back after running back after running back, everybody going all over the place because teams have money and players don't want to sit and wait behind anybody else. They want to play right now. Money talks, which is one of the reasons why Nick Saban left, because the playing field has even where the level of talent is scattered across everywhere, where now most of the part coaching comes into play, and coaching is that much more important. Is that much more important now because Florida State today, I'm not going to say they embarrassed Alabama, but
they did.
I guarantee you a lot of people, especially if you gamble, I guarantee you had Alabama to win. I guarantee you had Alabama to win.
Johnny, what you think? What didn't you like about what you saw from Alabama, and what did you love about what you saw from the Seminoles?
I mean, I think Castellanos for Florida State jumped off the page in every aspect of everything. You know, you look at what they did. He only threw the ball 9 times. That's super effective to be able to go put 31 points up and you only throw the ball. You're only 9 of 14 for 152. That's efficient. The one thing that I will say that I think in the past, you walk in, face an Alabama team, you probably got a little fear. This is Bama, the team that's been a dynasty, the team, you got a little fear. That fear aspect of what Alabama is completely gone. And nobody's scared of them boys. Not Vandy, not Kentucky, not nobody. Nobody's walking in and seeing Alabama on the schedule and having any kind of shake, any kind of fear, nothing. They've been getting wiped the last couple years. You say that buyout's deep, but like they're not going to sit here and let this stand for sure. No. They'll go find it in the woods somewhere.
They absolutely will, because I was thinking the same thing when they said about Jimbo, because prior to Jimbo, the biggest college buyout was Gus Malzahn when he got $21 million to leave Auburn. And basically you tripled, damn near quadrupled that with this buyout for Jimbo. But you're absolutely right. When you're Alabama and you've had to expect, and you've done what you've done, 6 national championships. You lost another 2 times in the championship game. You're damn near, they called it the Alabama Invitational because Alabama was in it every year. And people had them with a chance to win it every year. You can't count Alabama out. You can't count Alabama out. But like you said, Johnny, nobody fears Alabama anymore. And when you don't, that's half the battle. It's fear. That's one of your biggest strengths is another man's fear. Well, they don't have that anymore. And I'm looking at Alabama, Ocho.
Yeah.
They ain't got the same level of talent.
No,
You're absolutely right.
no.
When you look at the running backs, it was Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson and this one and that one, and you look at Derrick Henry and Jameer Gibbs and this one and that one. You go look at the wide receivers. You went to Julio and Ridley and Cooper and this one and that one and Judy and
back to back.
And you look at the quarterbacks. You look at those big D linemen they used to have. You look at the DBs. They don't have that no more. They just have guys now. Ain't nobody just. When have you watched the game, Johnny, and you played against them? When can you honestly say you watched an Alabama team and ain't nobody jump off the page at you? Ain't nobody like, damn, ain't nobody gonna flash for Bama?
Not since the Georgia game. Not since the Georgia game last year where Ryan Williams did his thing and absolutely went crazy. You've seen one player stand out where you're like, okay, this guy is a level of talent of Alabama that we're accustomed to seeing. Everything else, you may see a splash or a dash here or there, but you're not seeing it consistently week in and week out like you're accustomed to.
And the funny thing too, Unc, is I said something about for me, obviously being a receiver and thinking about college football and thinking about all the players that have been promoted and advertised as opposed to be, them boys. And me saying like nobody popped out to me on film today, and people in the chat saying it's only week one. Yeah, week one. Yes, it's week one. That's the whole point.
You allowed to pop out. Just because it's week one, that don't mean you can't flash. That doesn't mean you can't show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What do we talk about? It's only week one. Yes, that's when you actually pop out and you show off. When you're playing against the top talent. You're playing against the good teams. These are the games you're supposed to pop out because you're trying. When you get to the next level, every week it's the same thing. Every week you play in the NFL, it's them boys. You playing against them boys. So I was expecting maybe coaches wanted to call conservative games. Maybe they want to feature the players that we've all been noticing on commercials and seeing over and over and over. So maybe next week, maybe the week after. I don't know. At some point, the games for today were okay. The Alabama and Florida State game to me was probably the best and the most exciting, with the Clemson game following after that. But there's one more game we haven't talked about yet. That was the absolute snooze fest. I'll wait till we get there.
When I think about Alabama, the one thing Alabama could do was stop the run. Coach Saban, Johnny, you had to throw. The thing that gave Coach Saban problem has always given Coach Saban problems: the dual threat quarterback and the guy that can pass the football. You go back and look when they lost to Oklahoma, Trevor Knight, I think that was his name. You look at what he did to them in the Sugar Bowl. He stood back there and he threw the ball. Now, the thing that gave him the most problem is a dual threat quarterback, a guy that can throw the ball and run. You look at Johnny Manziel. You look at Deshaun Watson. You look at guys that Cam Newton. It just so happens you're talking about two guys won the Heisman Trophy. One guy was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL before the injuries and things off the field took place. You see, but they got ran on 49 times for 230. Coach, you don't run on Bama. Bama don't let you run. They stuff your run, and then they go hunt your quarterback. They can't really hunt the quarterback. They really can't consistently stop the run. And Castellanos was doing whatever he wanted to do. Like you said, John, extremely efficient in the passing game. Only threw the ball 14 times. But when you can, and Gus Malzahn, you know what he wants to do. He wants to run the football. He wants to give you a lot of misdirection. He's going to run jet sweep. He's going to run your quarterback. He's going to run his quarterback. That's what he does.
Hey, Florida State almost lost that game, but almost let them boys back in the game too. After the second half, that second half and third quarter, everything started being conservative. Everything started being conservative. The 3 and outs, giving Alabama the ball back, allowing them to have a chance to get back into the game. Now, if it was the old Alabama or a team that was a little bit more competent and efficient with the ball, hell, Alabama could have came back and won that game with as conservative as Florida State played in that second half.
Well, the old Alabama wouldn't have been behind like that.
Well, that too.
Go ahead, Johnny.
No, I think you look at what Alabama wants to do in the past. They would always say, listen, we're going to go man on man. We're going to take our best versus your best, and we're going to lock you down. Times like we said in the past where they've had success against an Alabama has been when, they're running man coverage, running down the field, and the quarterback's able to escape the contain and be able to get out. But this is a team that just doesn't even resemble that. Like, we're going to put our best corner against your best receiver and body him and throw him out of bounds and bully him up, or, we're going to take our best edge rusher and just absolutely mop you all day long. You're not used to seeing an Alabama team get pushed around, especially in the trenches.
No. And
it gotta be concerning.
Yeah, and plus they can't run the ball like they used to. You know Alabama get them hogs up. And I'm looking at the offensive line. They go 6'7", 340, 6'7", 320, 6'6". I'm like, bro, y'all big for no reason. Why the hell you that big if you can't block? If you ain't moving, Ocho, you got to move furniture, you that big.
Yeah.
I said, y'all that big and can't block the sun out your eyes. I was like, well, damn, ain't no sense in being that big if you ain't gonna move something.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, damn. I mean, 29 rushes for 87 yards. Ocho, 27 rushes, 89 yards.
Yeah.
3 yards a carry.
Yeah, Florida State looked good on Florida. I'm talking about all three levels: up front, second level, and the secondary. I really want to know, Chad. I don't know if you guys know. If you remember Earl Little that played for the Cleveland Browns, is that his son, Little Jr.? Hey, he was all over.
You talking about the DB Earl Little, right?
Yes, Earl Little went to North Miami, down here in Miami.
I think that is his son.
You think so? Man, he was balling, boy.
Nick Saban coached 230 games at Alabama. He had 4 losses to unranked teams during his stretch. Kalen DeBoer has coached 14 games, and he just lost his 4th game to an unranked team. Since 2007, in games in which Alabama was favored by at least 14 points, Coach Saban is 131-2. Kalen DeBoer is 4-4. They get you up out of there. You don't want to be the man. You don't want to be the man that follow the man. You want to be the man that follow the man that follow the man. So I want to be the guy that came after the guy that followed Coach Saban. I don't want that pressure. You don't want to follow Coach Bryant. You don't want to follow a Nick Saban. You don't want to follow one of those, the Barrett Switzers or those Air Procedures, one of those mythical coaches. You want to be the guy that followed him. Because now that's what I'm going up against. Because I've got some separation between me and Coach Saban. I've got separation between me and one of these historic great coaches. The question that I have for you, Johnny, is that do you believe the NIL would be the death of the SEC?
No, I don't think so. I think the SEC and that conference will only find a way to work around it and do what they need to do. There's too much money there. There's too much in these collectives to be able to make it successful. I think we'll see we'll see different programs, different teams. Same Georgia, Alabama, LA, the same couple little pockets of teams that have been winning from the SEC. So I think it'll give some disparity in that regard. But, for the most part, I think the SEC is aligned for whatever moves forward in the college football NIL landscape, whether it's getting to bigger conferences where we only have 3 big conferences throughout the country or 4 or whatever it may be. I think the SEC can keep accumulating teams, more teams, and end up being, the biggest conference, 16, 20 teams, when it's all said and done, and this stuff kind of plays itself out.
Ocho, what you thinking? Because you look at Underwood, and I think we might touch on him.
Yeah.
You get Larry Ellison, one of the top 3 richest men in the world. He underwrites it. You get Dave Portnoy from Barstool. You get a Tom Brady, says, hey, I'll personally help you out and mentor you and coach you. And you give a kid, an 18-year-old, $12.5 million. Say, come on down here. This is what we got for you. It's hard when you got these deep pocket donors. You get a team like an Oregon, and you got Nike, and you got that Phil Knight dollars, and you get all those uniforms, and so now it ain't no Dodge Chargers. It ain't no Challengers. These guys got Ferraris, Johnny. These guys got Lambos. These guys driving Cullinans and McLarens.
Yeah.
And 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah, listen. Hey, the landscape has changed. The landscape has changed, and it's like I said it's even the playing field. And I think it's good. I think it's good for the players. I think it's good for the players because not only are you able to obviously get money for playing a sport you love, you're able to help your family out. You're able to help your family early. Now, as long as you can stay focused and understanding that you got this money as just a jump start for your bigger dream, for your bigger goal of making it to that next level where the real money is, as long as you can lock in, stay focused, and do what you need to do. I think I like it because, like Johnny said, it adds some disparity, obviously, to college football in general, and even the playing field where everybody gets the talent instead of one or two or three or just three teams getting everybody.
You're right, because it sure seems that way now. It doesn't look like. I mean, not look. Alabama still get 5-star recruits, but they don't look like the 5 stars they normally get. It's seemingly Ohio State are getting those guys now. And they're, like you said, I mean, if they're 25, 35-star, Alabama's getting 1 or 2 where they normally have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 3 D linemen, 2 O linemen, a corner, the number 2 or 3 dual threat. Those guys don't look like the same caliber player that they normally once had. And I think you guys are right.
And you know what? I have one question too.
Go ahead.
Johnny, y'all could probably help me out. When it comes to these stars and whoever is rating them.
Yes.
From the people that are supposed to be these 4 and 5 stars, when the lights were bright tonight, when the lights were bright today, in general, the stars didn't come out. The stars didn't come out at all.
Well, and that's the thing, what you alluded to. You say when people, you tweeted what you tweeted and people say, well, Shannon, they said, Ocho, well, it's just the first game. It doesn't matter. If you are who you say you are, first game, second game, third game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, it does not matter.
Yeah.
And I don't know, chop it at the pit. You're like a pit bull on a leash when this first game comes up. You're sitting there waiting to get let off the leash. You're in training camp. You know, you got bang plays going across the middle and you can't touch each other and you're running by and you're barking. This is what you're doing all training camp. You're fake blowing stuff up. You have the sack whistler blown that you'd be like, boy, if that was in a game, we'd have tore your ass up. Like that's what you're doing all spring and all training camp. So now you're off the leash. This is your time to run free. First time on a field, maybe in front of the lights. Yeah, it can hit you a little weird in a couple spots, but when it comes down to it, a dog is a dog, and it's time to be off the leash and go.